hit the rock, Alcatraz Island. But first, as our captain finishes pulling our boat out of the dock, I want to remind you of a few safety tips. Remember, today is about relaxing and having fun, so please, slow down, walk, don't run, and use the handrails, especially on stairways.
Don't run, okay.
Keep your little ones in sight, and remind them not to stand on the benches or sit on the backs. When you're out on the deck, please don't lean over the boat's railing. Life jackets are located under labeled benches on the passenger decks. All right, here we go. That long gray ship we've passed, tied to the next pier, is a diesel submarine, the Uss Pompanido. It saw active duty during World War II. You can take a tour of the Pompanido when you get back. It's open every day. You're probably familiar with some of the other attractions down here at Fisherman's Wharf, but how much do you know about its past? Have you ever heard of the Barbary Coast? Well, that's what this wharf was called during California's gold rush days. San Francisco became a boom town almost overnight. A rough and tumble district of warehouses, shanties, and saloons sprang up along here. Stories tell of how in some of those saloons, an unsuspecting sailor might be served a Mickey Finn, a strong drink that would knock him out cold. Then he'd be shanghaied onto a merchant ship. When he woke up, he was forced to work, whether he liked it or not. It was a long time before he would see land again. But that didn't keep the crowds away. Even back then, San Francisco was known as a place to let loose and have some fun. Whenever a ship dropped anchor, the sailors would make a beeline to the wharf to indulge in some of the delights of the city, drinking, gambling, and the company of, shall we say, companionable women.
Yes,
As you round the bend, take a look at the ship's docked here at the Hyde Street Pier. Find the ship with the 3 tall masts. That's the Balclutha. It was built in Scotland in 1886. In her day, the Balclutha sailed the very long and very dangerous trip around Cape Horn at the tip of South America, across the Atlantic Ocean to England and back. In the 1930s, she was retired and brought here to the Hyde Street Pier. But the Balclutha still sees some action now and then. In fact, she had a starring role in the film Mutiny on the Bounty, along with Marlon Brando. Now find the big white ferry boat docked next to the Balclutha. It has a black smokestack. That's the Eureka, once the largest ferry boat in the world. In the 1890s, long before the Golden Gate and Bay Bridges were built, the Eureka ferried people, cattle, and even a few train cars across the bay. Look up the hill behind the breaker. Find the long red brick building. It has a large white sign. That's Ghirardelli Square, in business since 1893. If you like chocolate as much as I do, and that may be hard, you'll have to visit Ghirardelli Square. It once housed a factory that churned out every kind of chocolate you can imagine, and some you haven't thought of yet. Today, however, the factory has been converted to luxury condos, but you can still enjoy some delicious chocolate treats at the Ghirardelli shop.